In the late 1990s, Mike Tyson was unstoppable. He reached the absolute peak of his sport, earning over $400 million during his career. He translated that cash flow into mansions, exotic tigers, a fleet of luxury cars, and even a $2 million bathtub. By 2003, the fortune was gone. Tyson was bankrupt, facing $23 million in debt. Compare that decline to a worker earning $50,000 a year. Every day, people with modest, average salaries quietly reach retirement age as multimillionaires. This happens because financial success relies on emotional intelligence and psychological habits, not just a math equation. A high IQ or a massive salary cannot outsmart bad behavior. We often assume that working hard, making the right choices, and grinding every day directly guarantees success. Take a young Bill Gates. In high school, he had a best friend named Kent Evans. They were equally brilliant, obsessed with computers, and shared a dream of building a tech empire together. Back in 1968, computers were room-sized rarities reserved for universities and governments. Yet Bill Gates attended one of the only high schools in the country that owned one. This massive technological head start was a historical outlier that almost no other teenager on Earth could access. Kent Evans faced a different outlier. Before they could graduate, Kent died in a mountaineering accident. His story ended because of a tragedy with the same astronomical odds as Bill's computer access. Because luck and risk exist entirely outside our control, we have to stop assuming that all success is 100% skill and all failure is 100% stupidity. Making serious money requires taking bold risks, jumping at brand new opportunities, and operating with a mindset of extreme optimism. Sam Bankman-Fried used this aggressive mindset to build FTX. In just a few years, he drove the exchange to a multi-billion-dollar valuation, becoming one of the wealthiest people in the world. But he never switched gears. He kept taking reckless risks and over-leveraging his wealth until his empire collapsed. By 2022, the empire collapsed. He went completely bankrupt and was officially arrested. Staying wealthy requires the opposite mindset: humility, patience, and a healthy fear of losing money. Compare that collapse with Warren Buffett. Buffett is worth over $100 billion, but he refuses to take crazy, hype-driven risks. His strategy relies on survival. The goal isn't to win a gamble once. The goal is to play the long game so you never have to worry about money again. When someone pulls up in a $300,000 Ferrari, the only thing we know for sure is that they spent $300,000. For all we know, they are drowning in high-interest debt to maintain the image. Now consider Ronald Read. He was a gas station employee and a janitor who wore unassuming clothes every day. But when he died at 92, he left behind an $8 million fortune. Read understood that true wealth is invisible. It is the money you actively choose not to spend, the quiet investments and unpurchased luxuries growing in the background. This is why billionaire Warren Buffett still lives in the same modest house he bought in 1958. He values his freedom far more than he values flexing for strangers. Ronald Read succeeded because he chose a simple path and stuck to it for decades. Most people struggle because they believe wealth requires a complex, mathematically perfect strategy. This search for the perfect portfolio often leads to analysis paralysis, a state of overthinking where you study every chart but never invest a single dollar. But remember, we aren't unfeeling robots. A reasonable investor who picks a simple index fund and sleeps peacefully every single night will always beat a strictly rational investor who panics and sells everything when the market drops 40%. People generally view saving money as delayed spending, saving now just to buy a nicer car or a bigger house later. But real wealth buys something much better, the FU fund. This is a stockpile of cash that explicitly buys you options and control over your own time. Having just 6 months of living expenses provides the leverage to instantly walk away from a toxic boss, leave a bad landlord, or exit a stressful environment without panicking. The most valuable dividend money can ever pay is the absolute freedom to dictate your own life. Information without action is useless. The best time to start buying back your freedom was yesterday. The second best time is right now. Start saving and build your invisible wealth today.